welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life. I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. Hey, I just had to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I'm gonna make it. All right, y'all, let me stop playing. This is PowerBook 2, y'all. PowerBook 2 Ghost, Season 3, Episode 4, The Land of Opportunity. Baby, child, we got some things going down, all right? We moving this product, but now we got some other product coming in. Obi said, y'all said y'all was going to do what Mecca did. Well, this is what he did, baby. You about to move these guns, too. We got Monet out here in these streets, baby. She finally fixed that hair, okay? She got the hair done, nails done, everything did. She out here, they bringing her as a family to see this memorial of Zeke, and she ready to get down to business and find out what's going on. But Whitman is on her ass as usual, okay? Whitman, aka Stalker, is going crazy. He don't want to give up. He's doing what we would expect him to do. He falls for the okie doke, and baby, he up out of here, all right? He is smoking. We got Whitman up out of here. Diana stepped up, child, and I actually feel a little bad for Diana. I always go hard on Diana, but baby, Diana was getting used by mommy and daddy this episode, child. She did step up, but she needs to go ahead and watch out for Mr. T.A., okay, a.k.a. Bird Chest, all right? Mr. Salim, honey, because he over here whispering her in her ear, telling her she needs to stay away from her family. And I said, you know, what she needs to do is stay away from you, boo. Now, we got Drew also trying to step up. You know, he's saying that his family is not believing in him. He needs to do some things so they could put respect on his name. We also got Lorenzo trying to gain his respect back, but Kane rather said, baby, not today, okay? Stop playing with me. I'm in charge now. But, you know, we might have a little reunion going on, you know, a little bit of coming together as we end up taking this family road trip, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. Break it on down. Take it from the top. You know how we do. So, of course, we start out just seeing that all these different orders is coming in for Tariq and Braden. Their business is booming. You know, we hitting up Effie, okay? Braden is and asking if they could chop it up. Is she alone? But she's like, nah, I got to go deal with Tiny because his dumb ass is messing up the orders and we can't have that. So I will hit you back later. And she tells him that he's underserving people when they ask for daggone, you know, 8 sugars, okay. What they mean is 8 grams. Don't be sitting here giving them no 8-ball. You are basically jipping them, and we can't have that, you know. And so then she go downstairs to him and she was like, listen, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you again. An 8-boy is 3.5 grams, right? What we want to do, because you actually shorten them 4.5, that's bad for business. And so he was like, I got you. You know, it will never happen again. So we all working and we making this money. We getting up no more money. We hitting the numbers that we supposed to hit. So, you know, now we see him like Tariq literally standing at the top of the stairs looking like his damn daddy, even though he don't want to be like him. Okay, suit and all, just observing and seeing everybody making the moves. And we see that he sends text to Drew and Kane saying, well, our end is done, okay? Do y'all got y'all and y'all need to come on up in here with y'all bread. Now, we got Monet walking out, honey, with Lorenzo, and she got the blindfold on, and he's just telling her, she's like, is this really necessary? And he's like, man, listen, we've been through a lot of stuff has happened in these last few months, but, you know, we're going to be stronger and closer as a family. I done been with you a long ass time, girl, and this is something that I wanted to do. You know I love you. And she like, I love you too. So he take the blindfold off, and we got a little moral going on for daggone Zeke, and she's like, oh, look at my baby up there looking so good. All right, and this is the first time she actually looks happy. She's like, thank you. And he's like, you welcome, babe. You know, saying he just want to see the family happy and together again. So now Diana woke up. She was the only missing link. Kane and Drew was already there. She's saying how she's getting there late because, she had to go ahead and clock out after finishing her daggone class. Of course, she's working at the store now. Monet giving her the damn evil eye. She walking up with some flowers, but baby, Monet face get even eviler because she see Whitman and she like, what the hell you doing here? Stop harassing me and my damn family, okay? So Whitman is like, oh, well, you don't want to assault the cop because, of course, Lorenzo is asking, is it a problem here? And he's like, don't be stupid. And so she was like, well, listen, you suspended, so you ain't supposed to be out here doing nothing. You didn't think I knew about that, did you? She was like, you're going to be fired the next time. So he telling her he got all the time in the world now to watch her. Of course you do, Stalker Whitman. We know that's your specialty. So she was like, I haven't done anything and you can't prove anything against me. And of course he's still here trying to be like Carrie Milgram. So basically he was like your baby daddy or whatever the case may be. He was like, I'm going to get you. I got footage coming out, of you coming out the building. So Lorenzo's asking him, well, do you have a warrant to go along with that? And she's like, no, he ain't got no damn warrant. He ain't got nothing. He was like, then I suggest that you do, you do get the hell up out of here before I do something that I will regret. And Kane is pretty much like you heard him. And Drew is like, yeah, get to stepping, okay? So, of course, Whitman is just laughing, but his ass does exactly that and goes and walks away and gets in his car. So Lorenzo asked how long this been going on, and she's like, it's been a little minute now, but I got it under control. It's been a few weeks, but basically I'm working with Davis to go ahead and get him, from up underneath me. And she's like, he's trying to blame Carrie's suicide on me. So he was like, well, Drew basically says if he's coming for you, he's coming for all of us. So this is a problem. Excuse me, y'all. That they got to get under control. And of course, Monet talking about, look, I got it under control. But she's like, let's go ahead and have this family meeting. And so Diana was about to walk in with them too. And of course, you can't have Monet without her being a bitch to Diana, okay? She stopped and was like, little girl, family meeting, okay? I said, well, she is technically a part of the family, Monet. But, she was like, can I speak to you for a minute? And Monet just basically was like, no, you wanted to go to school, go back to school. So when she get inside, she's basically asking Drew, Kane, and Lorenzo, what is going on? What's the deal? Where we at with everything? How is business? And they was like, yo, business is booming. We making mad money, okay? That's not the product. We got more damn product than we actually, could even move as fast as we get. We got the Castillos on with us. We got the freaking what the heck is their name? The Jamaican boys or whatever the case may be. And so she like, nah, we don't need to have the Castillos in with us. She was like, because Kane talking about some happy plug, happy life. And she like, man, F your relationship with the plug. She was like, that's too close for home, too close for comfort, okay? Evelyn could basically find out what happened with Frank or whatever, and you don't know what the hell she feeding her sons. And so Drew was like, nah, they would have been retaliated. I don't think they know anything about it. And she was like, but that's still a chance that you don't want to take. It's still too close. So she was like, y'all need to cut that off and y'all need to stop it. And so Kane was basically like, nah, they can't prove shit. At the end of the day, Uncle Frank was a rat and he had a lot of enemies. So it could have been any of them. Now she's looking to Lorenzo to step up and say something. And now, of course, she's observing just like Drew and Diana have that something ain't right here. Okay, something is stinking. Because baby Lorenzo was like, I agree with Kane for now, whatever the case may be, unless something changes. I don't see any reason, what I'm saying, for us to pull out from them or whatever the case may be. If anything, gets into the distance that we see, then we'll shut it down. So he basically was like, yo, we got to get up out of here. We got work to do or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to go ahead and talk to you later. So she looking and she asked Drew, what the hell is up with that? And Drew was like, yeah, things been funny between them two for a little minute now. So, of course, the wolves is already starting to turn in her head because we all know that's not usually how it works. And he don't usually just listen to no damn Kane. It's so obvious. All right. Now, moving on from there, we basically see, Sax, of course, meeting up with Jenny Child. He done show her the damn picture of Davis, all surrounded with Tariq and them or whatever, because he's telling her about him having the DA connections and what that could get him. And of course, he done gave her the breakdown of Davis and his brother's situation. So she like, well, why don't we just bring him in for the damn murder that he did or whatever and hold that over his head to make him help us. And Saxe is basically like, nah, that's not going to work. We can't go about it that way. He was like, if you help me, to get his brother out, then we have a better chance of having him help us that way or whatever, because then he's going to trust me. He was like, trust me, that's the easier way for us to get it. So she talking about that's a huge ask or whatever. And he was like, well, you're going to have a harder time proving the daggone Rico case than that. And so then she's looking at him, this picture she's showing, and she like, okay, now we talking, all three of them in the same room. That's a start. But now her phone is ringing and it's blocker, and she got to get up and walk away for a minute. Now, Saxe ain't stupid. He already know that she is basically hiding something. So the minute she walk away, he's like, really, you got to get up and go away to take the call? So he sees another phone ringing, and of course, Saxe being Saxe, baby, he always gonna have that phone out and snap a picture, okay? Just like he did with Davis, he is now snapping a picture of her phone ringing, and we all know that is Lauren. Lauren been calling, texting, and Jenny done left her damn there and ain't been answering the damn phone. And so now she come back to the table and she telling him, she got to get ready to get up out of here. And he's telling her how that other phone was ringing. And she was like, oh, that phone always rings nonstop or whatever the case may be. He was like, yeah, I bet. He was like, so since when the DA office handing out, extra phones these days? So she talking about it's for CI Cooper, but listen, I got to go. We'll catch up more about this later and I'll see what I could do with the case file. And he's like, thanks. But of course, Saxe's mind his wheels is turning too. Now we got Tariq pulling up in a damn Porsche, child. He done bought a car. He ain't walking no more. And I'm like, that's all fine and dandy, Tariq, but did you really need to go and buy a Porsche, child? You could have got something a lot more simpler. Drew walking up talking about that's you, and he was like, yeah, I went from a BMW, to a Porsche. So you got Braden like, you ain't never have no Beamer. He said, man, I'm talking about being a black man walking, okay? I've been a black man out here walking in these streets, long before Noma. So they all start laughing like you a dumbass. So they get in there first or whatever, and you got Kane and Effie coming up behind and him grabbing her phone, and she like, yo, what the hell? Get up off me. Why are you taking my phone? He was like, I'm taking it to see if it just so happens to be something wrong with it. Is it broke? Because you have not been answering none of my calls and texts. And she like, you ain't my man. You ain't my daddy. I ain't got to report to you. So he's telling her some, good looking out, good for taking care of business. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he was like, the fact that you took care of Lauren. Now, we figured the last episode, okay, I said that he had put 2 and 2 together. So now Kane done figured out, the whole Lorenzo killing Zeke. And he also figured out that Braden is not the one that did anything to Lauren. It was Effie. But she's over here thinking that Braden told it, which he never did, okay? Braden did hold it down. He did not snitch. So she's actually telling on herself by just damn admitting it, talking about some, I did what I had to do. At the end of the day, Tariq wasn't going to do it because he cared about her too much. And Braden, although he is very loyal, he really didn't have it either. So have it in him either. So I stepped up. So he was like, yeah, you did what, a man should have did or whatever. So he like, I respect that. I give you props. You took one for the team. And she's telling him, she ain't a part of no team. So he's saying how he should let Tariq know how down she is for him. And she's like, nah, don't do that because I haven't told him yet. I want to tell him in my way. I want him to hear it from me. And he's like, okay, well then, I'm going to text you later tonight. So that way, I can hear all about the fact that you broke it on down for him and you let him know what time it is. And then they both walk in and they asking them why they late and they talking about some traffic. So we get Obi come in and he's bringing in these crates or whatever. And he opened it up and lo and behold, we got guns. And so Tariq's like, yo, we don't deal in guns. And he was like, oh, yes, you do. He was basically like, you said you wanted to do what Mecca did. This is what he did, right? You handled that part. Now we got to see you handle this part. Now Braden trying to tell him how a wire transfer takes 24 hours or the money has been sent. And he's like, I know how damn transfers work. Okay, I've been dealing with damn transfers before you was born, you pale little gnome. And then, Braden talking about something, okay, you didn't have to, diss me or whatever the case may be. That was hurtful. I was just trying to help. So, he says, yeah, I got to go ahead and meet these quotas. So it was like, of course, they keep stepping up the damn game more and more and more. And we know that guns is a whole different ball game than freaking, drugs are. And so, of course, Kane talking about something, we can handle the guns or whatever. Y'all go ahead and handle, the pussy street. He means Wall Street or whatever. Y'all take care of that and we going to take care of this. So, they go ahead to leave or whatever, right? Now, Effie is stopping Braden like, oh, why did you tell him this and that? And he was like, I ain't tell anything. What are you talking about? He was like, yeah, he hit me up, but I held it down, so I have no idea how he told. So again, Effie, you told on your damn self in this situation. So then she just looking stupid or whatever. Now we get to the class. We know that the name of the class is going to be the Land of Opportunity because it always coincides with the name of the episode. And so the teacher's asking them, now the question is, is this truly the Land of Opportunity? And she's asking, can she get a volunteer? She like, come on, Ashley, who else? So, of course, we end up with Effie, Bashonda. We end up with Tariq. We end up with Braden's damn sister. And we end up with, why am I forgetting her thing? Diana, right? And like 2 other students. So they all got to write down something, right? Effie writes independence. Effie writes freedom. Diana writes independence. Tariq writes family, right? These is all supposed to be their goals. And then the TA, Salim, comes and gets everybody papers from them. And then she says, well, step forward, if you came from a 2-parent home. Everybody except for Effie steps forward. Then she says, take 2 steps back if you don't. So Effie had to step back. Step back if one of your parents did jail or prison time. Tariq had to step back and so did Diana. Then it was take a step forward or back rather if your family ever was on public assistance, and that was Bushonda. So, step forward if you ever attended private or secondary school. It was Tariq and, 2 other people that stepped forward. If you're going to inherit wealth, again, Tariq and 2 other people, which of course was white, step forward. So, you got Effie, Bushonda, and 1 other chick that was all the way in the back. And then it was like life insurance. Tariq and them is all still stepping forward. Then it was like if you ever been sexually harassed, and most of the girls basically had to step back. She was like, cooling cat calling or whatever. So now it's still Tariq and like 1 other white guy's the only one that's ahead of him, and he's noticing how Effie is in the back, and so they start going back and forth of course, how this is not fair. You got this one guy that, of course, his family is wealthy, so he's saying, why should I have to suffer or feel bad that my family did good? And they was like, well, your family is not necessarily good just because they have money or whatever. That's 2 different things. And they was like, they have to work hell of a harder than the people that have the money. So, of course, this is not fair or whatever, right? Because they actually have a head start and they got way further to travel. And so, of course, this was just showing the different dynamics of how it is in the real world and how, your privilege and your wealth and your families and stuff like that does have an impact on where you could get to. So, of course, Tariq is saying that this don't have nothing to do with him, but even Effie ended up coming out and was like, yeah, that's easy for you to say from where you standing. So now when they leaving out the school, she's like, yo, you really wrote down family, like that's all you want? And he was like, well, that's always going to be my number 1 priority. I don't really have anything else, and that's the only thing that I've been thinking about. Of course, my first goal is to basically graduate and get my trust and then be able to take care of my mom and sister. And once they good, then I could take time to worry about myself. But she basically was like, well, what happens when they burn through your trust? How are you going to support them? She was like, what the type of life that you live, because he was saying he didn't figure out that part yet. All he want to know is that they're safe. And she was like, well, when you're in this life, your family inherits that risk of something happening to them too. So the only way to protect them is to quit. And he's like, yeah, eventually, you absolutely right, And then, of course, she's talking about wanting to be able to go to grad school, get a PhD in robotics. And that's like 50 bands a semester and all of that. So he was like, okay. He was like, damn, so you really trying to go to grad school in Cali? And she was like, yeah, dead ass is legit. When I'm out, I'm trying to get new beginnings for me. I feel her on that, but if he got big dreams, robotics, listen, hey, you got to pay a lot because you're going to be getting a lot, right? So now we got Diana at the school. Poppy comes. She already done ran through that product he gave her, got the money or whatever. But he over here trying to give her 2 more bricks. She was like, I thought this was a one-time thing. I said, did you really, Diana? Did you really? Of course, Poppy ready to run it in the ground. So he's telling her whether she like it or not, family first, and they need, her help. He would not be asking her if he really didn't need it and he had another choice. So he need her to step up. He's like, can you help me out or whatever? And of course, she gonna say yes to her pappy, okay? So moving on from there, we got, Monet coming in, breaking to Davis, of course, about Whitman showing up. And he's like, yo, this is good because this helps us build our case more and more and more. He was like, this looks good or whatever the case may be. We already got him suspended. Just keep saving everything. So he was like, we need somebody that would be able to go ahead and speak to him or whatever. He was like, I know Diana. She like Diana. He was like, what, are y'all two beefing? He said, well, if anything, then he's going to know that. And that's going to make it look even better because I'm pretty sure he know the family dynamics and been watching y'all, of course, for a minute. And Diana is the best person because she's the only person that don't have at least no criminal record, on paper. And so he was like, this definitely helps. And so she's like, yeah, but Diana, he was like, yeah, that's our best bet. So she then says, okay, well, I need somebody to be able to go ahead and break into his house or whatever while he's there meeting with her. And he's like, excuse me? She was like, yeah, he has documents on me and I need to see what they is since he's suspended. I need to know what he knows. So he told her, be careful with this guy. He's still NYPD. He'll make an example out of you. So she was like, yeah, that's why you going to send somebody in. She can't have this coming back on her. He like, whoa, 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 let's not get crazy. I'm sure it's a Tejada that could do it. But she go ahead and throw that knot on that table. And y'all know how Davis is with money. She was like, pay the person whatever you want and keep the rest with you. He was like, well, I might know some niggas, okay, that could do a little something, something. I say, yeah, Davis, I bet you do. So she says she gonna go ahead and get her daughter on board. I said, oh, Lord. So now, RSJ is here finally at this meeting with Dagon, Lucas. And, of course, he got, Tariq in there just because. So they going back and forth on why should he work with them? What do they want to, do this business with him for? What are they going to be bringing? Lucas talking about his gut. He was like, oh, so you have a golden gut. That's what I'm supposed to, be here for. So he was like, I know what you bring to the table. I know what you could do and all of this. And I know what we could do for you. He was calling him the Black Elon Musk. And so he just started laughing when he said that to him, like, really, the Black Elon Musk. He was like, did he build his damn empire off his daddy's money? So he was like, well, I don't think that he would agree with that or he would look at it that way or whatever, right? And basically, he was asking Tariq because he was like interesting. He was like, so Tariq, did James St. Patrick build his? Is that what he did? Would he be an example of somebody that, pulled himself up by the bootstraps? So Tariq was trying to intersect and be like, I think what Lucas meant, but Lucas interrupted him again and was like, we're headed out, to scout this Italian company at the end of the month and it's about to blow up. So RSG was like, unfortunately, I don't think it's the right time for me to invest. I'm focusing on my real estate portfolio, but thanks for your time. And he ended up leaving. And he was saying when his dad passed away, they were so broke. Or they inherited was good examples. And then he was like, I heard you have real estate to Tariq. He was like, do something smart with it. You owe it to your old man. So Lucas is asking Tariq, like, what went wrong? What just happened there? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, well, you should know. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you. Tell me. So he was like, well, I did see something where he gave a speech before. And he was like, you're treating him like he's some daggone, 10th, whatever. So he was like, what do you mean by that? He was like, when he said this speech, he basically was saying that there's so many people that's like him and just as good as him and that they could showcase anything, but it's institutional racism. So he was like, well, why didn't you tell me about that before the meeting? And Tariq was like, look, I'm just an intern. It's obvious you were using me as a prop. And he was like, well, why don't you show me that you're more than that? He was like, as a matter of fact, I don't think this internship is right for you. So Tariq is like, nah, I need this. He's talking about, well, prove it, convince RSG to sign up with us, and then you could keep your internship. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, now you starting to get on my damn nerves. Now you doing too much because, baby, if I'm setting a damn deal with a billionaire, then you need to be offering me a job. This needs to become more than an internship. Like, excuse me. So now, anyway, him and Braden are walking and talking about it, and he's like, how the hell am I supposed to do this or whatever, right? And at the same time, they're getting a text that the service is overloaded. So, Braden says he gonna go and take care of that. And he tells, Tariq to do what he gotta do. He was like, maybe you could go ahead and talk to Tate, right? Because Tate knows all about finding stuff with people, whatever. And he can help you to be able to find something with RSJ. Now, Monet go head over to Diana's because, of course, she needs to ask her for help now. And she's like, is everything okay? And Monet talking about, are you going to invite me in or I got to talk to you from the door? So she lets her in or whatever. And she's like, what's going on, mommy? What made you come here or whatever? So she talking about some, I hate that it have to come to this, but I need a favor. And, of course, Diana's like, of course you need a favor, right? That would be the only reason why you would come. So Monet tells her, like, well, this is, what I'm saying, about women. This affects all of us. This is about the family. Are you willing to help or not? She was like, this is not just about me. It's bigger than me or whatever the case may be, right? The whole family could be exposed. And so Diana was asking her, did she do it? And she was like, what difference does it make? Are you with me or against me? So Diana talking about something. I was with you when I got Poppy out of jail, remember? And all I got was choked and slapped around or whatever the case may be. So she was like, Diana, look, I was grieving, okay, girl? I was grieving, I was going through it, what I'm saying? I was feeling the loss of Zeke or whatever the case may be, and I'm really sorry, all right? Is that what you wanted to hear? And, because Diana had told her, Ma, you blame me for Zeke's death, and that really, really hurt me, okay? That hurt me, girl. And so she basically was like telling her she never looked at her the same. So she talking about, I'm sorry, baby. I was grieving, okay? I shouldn't have never treated you that way. So, Diana ends up saying that's a start. So she was like, okay, now are you going to be mad at me or are you going to come back and hold the family down? You going to help me or not? So, of course, we don't see her answer. We just see her looking with this funny look on her face. But we already pretty much know she gonna do it. So now we got, Drew and Gorda over here on the couch. He over here picking off limballs. Talking about, you really came all the way over here to talk to me about that. So what's up? So Gordo's like, we used to be play cousins. I said, not play cousins, okay? Drew told him that don't count. But he said he don't mix business with pleasure, okay? So he was like, that never works out. We got to get down to business. So he was like, all right, I can respect it. Drew was like, actually, I really am trying to step up. I'm trying to have, it's probably for the best because my pops and my brother can't handle, ever since my last relationship. So he was like, what's going on? He was like, they felt like my last relationship distracted me from the biz. So Gordo tells him, well, I had the same problem until, they had them put some respect on my name. So he was like, yeah, I need to do something like that. He was like telling him about the guns or whatever. So Gordo starts telling him he know a guy upstate or whatever that's always asking for guns. He's like, what kind of guns is it? He was saying that would give him some respect. So he says AK-47s, Glocks, and silencers. He was like, yeah, they would definitely be down with that. Only thing is that it's a racist ass militia. So Drew like, I don't know about all of that. That sounds like these motherfuckers is trying to start a civil war. He was like, well, what do we care? It's not going to be, in Queens or BK. So he said he could go ahead and set it up and they would treat him like a boss. So now, of course, he's down with it. So Kane is coming talking about, what you doing here? What's going on? And he was like, just leaving. We was handling some business. He's talking about, hey, Uncle Lorenzo. And he's saying, tell Evelyn hi. So Of course, Lorenzo coming back with all the money. Kane is asking him, can he move the guns as fast as the drugs? Lorenzo said, nah, that's a completely different, lane. So, Drew takes this as the opportunity to tell him the play or whatever that Gordo just gave him. And he's saying he can handle it. It's some white boys upstate and they want the whole shipment. So Kane was like, that's actually a good idea, as if we needed him to damn tell us. So, Tariq go see Tate. Tate is like, nah, it's nothing on him. He was like, trust me. As a matter of fact, okay, homeboy been basically able to donate to everybody that's opposing Dagon Tate, and he don't like him either, and Tate has never been able to find nothing. So he was like, one thing he do know about him is if, you succeed, he will rock with you or whatever, right? And then he was like, damn, I ain't got time to play games. And so he tells Tariq, well, you really shoulda. It's not, it's not really about games. It's about being a shrewd businessman or whatever, right? And so he was like, he's actually giving you the time of day. Just that alone should tell you something. So Tariq was like, how the hell am I supposed to, mess around with a daggone billionaire? So he was like, well, figure the shit out. I guarantee you it's something that he would be interested in. And once you get his attention, then, that's all with that. So he basically was like, well, I'm going to send you my IG and you go ahead and click on the link and give me a damn donation, Mr. Kingpin. So, of course, Tariq is like, I wish I could, but I ain't got nothing. And he was like, oh, okay, then don't worry about it. No biggie. He was like, I guess you don't want to know about, the meeting with my new friend, Blanca Rodriguez. So, of course, Tariq is like, Blanca, what the hell are you talking about? What business do you have with the feds? And he's like, yeah, ever since I lied for your black ass on the damn stand, they've been over here coming around talking about, they got this case. So he was like, what case? Of course, Tate is like, I wish I knew. I don't know right now. So he was like, all right, I'm going to donate. Child, here comes Tate talking about weekly donations of 5 bands. I say, you know what? He always got to do the damn most. So Tariq says, okay, what damn case? Okay, he's talking about he wanted in Bitcoin. So Tariq like, whatever, tell me. So she was like, she's investigating the murder of Dante Spears. Do you know him? Tariq was like, nah, I never heard of him. Okay. He said, okay, cool. Well, you heard of Bitcoin, right? I say, yo, Tate, I swear, he always find a way to go ahead and mess around with damn Tariq some kind of way, y'all. So, of course, Jenny and Sachs is meeting up again. And, he's looking over this file or whatever the case may be. But then he start asking her, are you seeing somebody? Like, what's really good? She was like, even if I am seeing somebody, it's none of your damn business. So he ends up telling her, like, listen, you've been lying, okay? I know something is going on. She's telling him she leaving. So he was like, well, I'm going to follow you or you going to take me with you because something else is up. So she basically says, come on. And, of course, ends up bringing him to Blanca. And Blanca's like, oh, hell no, not this bastard. And he like, oh, hell no, not this bitch, okay? So she was like, this piece of shit can't be trusted. He's the one that messed up my damn case before. He doesn't do anything by the book. We have a history. And she's like, I get that. But at the end of the day, now we got to be one happy family because he work in Davis' office. He's the CI and he will be able to learn where all the bodies is buried. So we need him. I said, okay, Jenny, whatever. So, he's saying he could deliver this substantial evidence against Davis McClain and Tariq and the criminal organization. He know everything to say to them because he know how much they want damn Tariq. And he was saying they could go ahead and get some bad guys. So Blanca said, yeah, well, one force move and I'll take your behind out if I have to. Child, we get to Jenny over here with Lauren and come to find out she left this child in the damn house with nothing but 2 cans of Spam. I said, I know you freaking lying, Jenny, okay? Not even some damn oodles and noodles, baby. Not even some Franks. Not even some damn hamburgers. Not some beef patties. Not some damn the pizzas that go in the microwave. Spam. No, ma'am. No ham. No Sam, child. Don't leave me in here with no damn Spam. Girl, I would have been gone, okay? Lauren, you better than me. So, of course, she's still feeding Lauren the okie doke and then want to take out pictures and show her Tariq and Effie. And here go Lauren getting in her damn feelings talking about they out here partying like I never existed. They just living their best lives. I'm so mad. So Jenny is like, oh, well, if you mad, then help me get them. You know what I'm saying? Tell me something on them. So it ends up that the only thing Lauren can talk about is that, she remembers one time seeing damn Diana going up to the roof or whatever the case may be. She believed they had some kind of action happening up there, whatever. She seen her coming down. She's like, that girl right there. And of course the picture was of Diana. So Jenny talking about some, oh, you sure it wasn't him, talking about Kane? And she's like, no, I don't know him. Okay, I said her. So now she knows that Diana, which Diana really didn't even have nothing to do with the damn business. It just so happened that one time when her and Drew went up there and ended up stealing something. But now she's being able to connect Diana into the damn family business too now because of what Lauren said. Now, here go daggone, Lorenzo calling himself, approaching Kane, telling him he's tired of this can't continue, he's still the king of the family. And Kane was like, man, you ain't king of nothing, okay? You gonna sit the hell down. The only way you become a king is if you tell Monet the truth. Until then, you gonna sit down and shut the hell up. And so Lorenzo was telling him, like, boy, I will break you apart. And he jumped up in his face and was like, you gonna do what? I'm not a little kid anymore. You're gonna respect me as a man, and that's that on that. Why should I listen to anything that you gotta say? And you in my damn house. I said, Lord of mercy. So we seeing Diana in here with old bird damn chest Salim child. Okay, this boy looked like he will crack and freaking too if you look at him the wrong way. And he over here trying to get some, but Diane was like, slow down. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get back to doing our schoolwork. And he was like, really? Schoolwork, homework, that's what you want to do? And she's like, yeah, let's get back to studying. And so he's like, okay, so here he go. And I do not trust him. I'm sorry, you too much in the damn family business. She asking him to pass her the water or whatever the case may be. And he talking about something, I don't want to keep saying this. So how many times you been saying it? He's talking about, because she was saying this is why she's been busting her ass, because she want that independence or whatever. He was asking, did she really meet it? And he was like, well, maybe you might want to reevaluate your relationship with your family. And she was like, well, I know what it is when it comes to them. He's saying, do you? She's like, yes. I said, yes, she do. It is her damn family, as freaking crazy and, dysfunctional as they are. So she's telling him this complicated or whatever. And he was like, oh, complicated. He was like, look, I don't mean to keep pushing it. I said, so why are you? Okay, because my spidey senses is tingling. He talking about some, maybe it's better you part ways with your family. That might be the best thing for you. I've been seeing your brother coming here and you spending time with him. I see you making runs with your father. I said, you sure are seeing a lot, Salim. Girl, Diana. Now, anyway, Diana take her behind over and talk to Whitman or whatever, right? Mind you, he's asking for a report on a, partial fingerprint. So she comes up to him and he's like, yes, what made you want to come and talk to me? So she's basically like, I really shouldn't be doing this or whatever, but I think I need to know the truth. So he's like, really? She was like, I need to know who killed Zeke. So he was like, well, I believe that your damn mother killed Carrie Whitman and turned around and killed Zeke because he ended up coming to me, asking about it to silence him or whatever. Because he came and asked me about Carrie or whatever, just like you're coming to me now with questions. He came to see me with questions. So he's like, do you know anything that can link her to the murder? And she's like, nah, she's too good for that. She's too good at what she does. So he's like, okay, so she was saying that she can't help prove murder, but she do know with some files is that have to do with the bar. So he was like, money laundering. Okay, I could work with that. He was asking her, could she get the files? But she was like, no, my mother don't even let me in the damn house. So he's asking, like, why are you really here, whatever, Diana? And she's basically like, look, she sent me to lie to you, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, because he laughing like, yeah, she told him she got to do what's best for her. She was like, at first she was going to separate, from the family or whatever. She thought that was the answer. But she's like, when it's really said and done or whatever the case may be, it's not her that should have to leave. It's basically Monet that should have to pay for it. So she was like, can't you get a warrant? And he was like, no, he can't. But then he talking about but I can't get it or whatever. So she tells him she's going to leave this key in the back of the damn house. She telling him where the cameras are. He's like, do you know when Monet and them is going to be there or not? She's like, I could find out. He's like, good. So I said, child, listen, I think Diana was telling him every single thing that she felt and everything that was real. But at the end of the day, I was like, Whitman, you about to go to your damn demise if you about to do what I think you going to do. Now, she going to tell him that she feel like since he took Zeke out, she wouldn't, hesitate to take her out too. So she was like, please, after this, you can't come to me for nothing else. And he was like, all right. Now, she says, the books is in the bedroom closet. He's like, okay. Now, we get them, going up here for this meet or whatever. They bring Brayden with them. You would rather have Brayden meet them up there. Brayden getting out the car talking about Lorenzo Tejada, so nice to meet you. And Lorenzo over here like, who the hell is this idiot? This is your front man. So, Brayden said, I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I understand pendejo, okay? So now, when Drew and them get there, they tell them it's changed plans, that they staying home. And Drew is like, what? And he looking at Poppy, and Poppy like, yeah, y'all just go ahead and stay back. Y'all hold it down in Queens or whatever. They making this run alone. So, Drew's just hurt because, of course, this was what he thought was going to be his chance to do his thing. Now, you got Blanca basically saying how they got somebody watching Gorda Castillo. So I said, child, y'all hooked up with the wrong family, because apparently the Castillo family is already hot because they already watching them for guns. She got a damn CI for that. Now we getting a connection with the Tejadas where they damn car done been seen around their place, and they know that Frank and damn Lorenzo was cool. So it's like, hey, we about to get a whole big bunch. What, they getting mixed up into drugs now? Whoopee, hooray, okay. This could help with our case too. So, Jenny says no, she can't go because, of course, she's trying to say that she learned from Sachs, but really she learned from Norrin about the damn upstairs at Stansfield, okay, the roof. So she trying to have cameras put there so they could go ahead and watch. And, of course, that's probably from what we see in the preview where Effie is going up to the damn roof and sees cameras. Now, Tariq does get RSG back there, and, Lucas is over here giving this apology, and he's like, I know you didn't come all the way back here to give me no damn apology. So Tariq was like, actually, you remember that there was a building that my dad had or whatever the case may be that was supposed to be some things done with it, and I was not supposed to be able to, touch it or touch anything from the trust, of course, until I graduate. But there is basically a clause inside of it or whatever that does say, like right now, he said he basically had a proposition for him. So RSG was like, I'm listening. So he was like, you want to start a construction and do this new shopping mall. He was like, the only object that's blocking is the QCP father that, of course, his father left him. So he was like, from what I'm told, it couldn't be taken out the trust. So Tariq said that's true, but he has, did his own research, and the building is lacking structural integrity. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that word. Y'all know what I'm integrity. Child, y'all know what I mean, right? Integrity. I don't know why I was having a time saying that word. So it's probably going to be torn down anyway, right? So he was like, since the building is no longer suitable, then he can actually, per the trust, if a buyer is willing to buy it for a higher price, he can actually do that or whatever. And, so RSJ was like, so if I sign, then it's mine, basically, if I sign with Western Holdings. And so Tariq says, yes, I believe in it so much that I'm willing and convinced, that RSJ would be the perfect thing to be the executor of my trust, to have it moved here or whatever. And then he could have a bigger, amount of money in his pot, in his trust or whatever, by the time he gets it when he graduates. And he was like, you can't beat those returns. And so of course, SJC is happy. RSJ is happy with this, and Tariq is happy with this too. And he actually go ahead and scores here. And then RSJ starts asking, so what was up with that stuff, with the Italy investments that you was telling me about? So this is a good look for Tariq, right? Which is why I said it should have been more than him just keeping the internship, even though he is making a profit off of it as well when he do get his trust. So now we actually have Brayden at this meet. The guys is trying to ask Brayden, what's your name? Where you from? Again, Brayden holds it down. He like, does it matter? This is what y'all wanted. This is the guns. Where's my money? let's get this moving. He gets it all fine. But these guys do take a picture of Braden without him knowing. So now, you know what I'm saying, there's that. So now they don't follow Braden back to the damn hotel. They continue to take pictures of, you know, Lorenzo looking out the window and all of that. And Braden was basically leaving because they done told him, you know, good riddance, goodbye. We don't need you here no more. And, you know, Lorenzo was saying, let's get out of there because he had a bad feeling. But he basically, you know, Kane is saying, no, he got to count the money up first. So he like, well, hurry up. Child, they come in there shooting. They come in there banging. And I got to admit, Lorenzo and Kane was on it, baby. Okay, pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. They had it down, okay? Got like 3 of them in the daggone room. Then they came out the room. You know, pop, 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 pop. We getting it on, right? And the next thing you know, here comes daggone Gordo and Drew whipping around because apparently Lorenzo had text, you know what I'm saying, text Drew and told him to, you know, be on the backup just in case. And so we did have Gordo getting clipped. It was a little tiny wound or whatever. But Kane had to give Lorenzo that respect because at the end of the day, he did jump in front of him and he was like, you know, are you okay and all of that? Because at the end of the day, that's still his son. And of course, we got Drew pulling over and going to buy a little bandage and stuff. Okay, bandaging Gordo all up or whatever. And of course, they end up having, you know, their little kissy moment in the car or whatever. And so as Lorenzo and Kane is driving back home, he's just like, damn, you still stepped up in front of me. You didn't care. You didn't dug down. And of course, Lorenzo was like, of course I did. You're still my son no matter what, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm still going to hold the family down. It's still going to be family first no matter what. And he was like, even after everything that I did to you. And Lorenzo was like, yeah. So of course, we got a reuniting of the families. Okay. Kane is like, you know, family over everything. Okay. So, you know, Lorenzo talking about some, you know, where I stand with that or whatever. So now, you know, Monet is at the damn house or whatever, and here come Whitman dumb behind. I said, Whitman, a.k.a. Stalker, you are really about to come in here all dressed like the owe me, okay, acting like this is what you owe me, and sneaking up in damn Monet house like you freaking crazy fool. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I had a feeling Monet was gonna be waiting there for him. I expected that. I even thought Lorenzo was gonna be there at first until we already knew that he was going away on the trip upstate. What I wasn't expecting was for him to turn the corner and see Diana and be like, what are you doing here? And she was like, 911, please. Someone broke into my house. And he over here talking about some, what you doing? What's going on? And he turned around like, please. And Monet came up and he was like, you ain't gonna get away with this. And Monet said, you know, he talking about, I'm still a cop, don't do this. She said, oh yeah, thanks for the advice, but I'll take my chances. Pop, 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 pop. I said, I know that's right. You know, she said, tell that bitch Carrie. I said, what's up? I said, Monet, bitch. So now Diana come down the stairs. What the hell? This is not what we had planned. She said, yeah, well, I couldn't tell you the full plan. She said, I didn't know I was going to be a damn accomplice to a freaking murderer or whatever the case may be. You know, she was like, well, we going to tell them he broke in the house. He attacked me. She said, I'm going to need you to go ahead and hit me. Okay, just do it. Because I got to, you know, prove that it was self-defense. So Diana was like, say less. Pop. Okay, so then she like, you okay? She like, girl, go jimmy the door because it gotta look like he broke. And I said, child, it's getting messy, y'all. It's getting messy. So McLean come and he like, yo, this was not a plan of the plan. She was like, listen, it's called self-defense. Did you get what I asked for? So he was like, yeah, I got the file here, whatever. But we gonna hold on to it a minute because you about to take your ass to the precinct and they about to take Diana down to the precinct too. And she was like, all right, well, let's get it over with. We gonna be out, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't nothing for them to find. So he just like, Lord. Now, in the meantime, you know, here go Effie and Tariq celebrating. Oh, you got RSJ for real. You know, you did that. And he's like, yeah. So now he's starting to tell her how, you know, he could see himself going legit and doing big things. And he could basically come and visit her when she moved to California. She's like, for real. So now when he's asking her again, what she want to tell him, she's like, nothing. Okay. Now she, of course, is not going to tell the truth about Lauren again. So she's sending Kane a text talking about something I can't do it. Mind you, Kane telling some chick, I'm going to leave all my shorties for you. Then the next thing you know, he like beat it. And she's telling him how she can't tell Tariq the truth. He's the one to hold her down. She never know nobody like him, never lived nobody the way that she do. So he gonna talk about some, don't worry, I got you. And then she's like, really? And he's like, nah, for real, okay? I got you. I understand. And he got the dumb look on his face where we already know he up to something. And then she looking too. Now, of course, Blanca then got up there and found out that everybody is shot up, but the other guy that was the CI is basically just shot in the back where it's probably something possibly, messed up with his spine. And we see Monet looking at this paperwork back at the penthouse, right? And first Drew come up and asking her if she's okay and telling her, he's glad that she's all right or whatever, but he's sad that she went through what she went through and she could stay there as long as she wants. And she was like, it's just until the house is not a crime scene anymore. So then she calls up Davis and she was like, yo, did you look at what you gave me as far as the proof that they have with Zeke's, murder? And he's like, well, I skimmed through some pages. Why? What's going on? She was like, why is they saying that it's a partial damn print from Lorenzo? So, of course, Davis is like, calm down, hold up, wait a minute, don't do nothing yet, right? And then here come Lorenzo walking up behind her, and she basically put the paperwork down. And, she just got the funny look on her face or whatever. So I said, oh, sugar, honey, iced tea, baby. Monet, no now, bitch. Okay. So here come Lorenzo. Hey, are you okay? Did they hurt you? Are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And he was like, well, did you get any sleep? She's like, no, not really. He was like, okay. He was like, you don't have to worry about anything. I got you. You know what I'm saying? And the cops said they not going to charge you with nothing. He like, I love you, Monet. She like, I love you too. And she just got that look on her damn face, okay? That stone Monet look while she giving him a hug. I said, Lorenzo, you about to be up out of here, boo. Say bye-bye, okay? But that was the episode, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about this episode, what you liked, what you didn't like, what your rating is, all that good stuff. Anything I left, I'll put it in the comments. Let's discuss it down there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you were so inclined, give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. If y'all like the content, subscribe to your girl. Y'all, I'm trying to get to 700, baby, on the road to 1,000. Okay, let's get these numbers up. Y'all, let's get these numbers up. Till next time, toodaloo.